Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
Left point. Pouliot lets it go, and that missed the net. Good Branson on the other side. Covering for him is Besser. Long shot. Scores!
Pettersson, Elias Pettersson coming back. I think he's got a piece of that. Waved at it. Long wrist shot. Here it comes.
Yep.
Yeah, and Elias Pettersson tips it by Jonathan Bernier. Welcome back.
It is time for the Debate Hockey Podcast, episode 49. We are recording on January 21st, 2019. I am Brad Burud, the host of the show, joined alongside my co-host Blake Friars. Every week we do this, Blake. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
Well, we're rolling. Season keeps going. Now we head into All-Star break, which not my favorite time of the year, but
my least favorite event of the year for sure.
But let's talk about some teams that are winning, and that would be the Calgary Flames, New York Islanders, Tampa Bay Lightning, Carolina Hurricanes, Winnipeg Jets, San Jose Sharks, Vegas Golden Knights. Wow. Off the charts hot right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Carolina and the New York Islanders are the surprises of that group.
What's your thoughts on Carolina's coach's comments about him wanting to suit up because they were so bad?
The truth.
He can still play, eh, Roddy Brennemore?
He was a classic. He was a good player in the league. Calgary, San Jose, and Vegas, they win every night, don't they?
Yeah, it's those are just fun team to watch, and
they win every night.
It shows that like how miles ahead of the curve they are, just like those teams.
Well, but see, Blake, here's what's contradictory to that.
Yeah, well, they are.
Well, I know, but earlier in the season, me and you talked about how the Pacific was the weakest division in the National Hockey League. Now, but now 4 months later, I would say they're the strongest.
It's up there,
What division's better?
I don't know.
Sure as hell not.
It's not the Central.
It's not the Metro.
No, it's the play of Vancouver lately and Vegas. Like Vegas was really struggling at the start of the year.
Vegas never loses anymore.
Yeah, I know they're
San Jose never loses.
Fleury just put the team on his back again. And
Calgary
it's
never loses. I mean, this Pacific Division is by far
it's
the
good.
The
yeah,
best.
It's good. And then you look at the race. I mean,
it's deadlocked.
It's deadlocked. But Vancouver's from the Pacific, Anaheim's from the Pacific, Edmonton, Arizona, Pacific. Like they're all in the race.
This is going to be a weird week in the National Hockey League as play shuts off Wednesday night with the final games, and then we'll pick back up Monday. We have All-Star game on Saturday, skills competition Friday night, and then many teams are on the
bye week,
CBA mandated bye week.
What do you think? I don't know. I don't like that. You're already getting 5 days off from the All-Star break. Why do you need another 3 days off?
Here's my thought on that. Well,
this isn't the NFL.
More than 3.
This isn't the NFL.
They get 5 days on top of.
Yeah, so they get 8 days off.
Okay, here's my thought on it. Now, hear me out on this one. If you're a player, it is awesome. It's a time to reset. It's a grueling season.
I'm not buying that.
Just listen to me.
Because you train to play every day, correct?
Okay, just hear me out. If you're a player, this is a vacation where you get to go and hang out and get away from the sport, rejuice, and get ready, because when you come back, it is race to trade deadline, then it is race to the playoffs.
I get that, but you don't need 8 days off.
So, that being said, as a fan, it's awful.
There's like one game, there's like 2 games
awful.
Every day.
And last year, when teams came back, they had a unbelievably horrible success rate. Yeah. But they're doing it different this year, Blake, with the bye week. Last year, they just had them sporadically put in there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, the team coming off the bye week was playing against a team that's been playing, and the success rate of the team coming off the bye week was atrocious. So this year, they did tweak it so that the whole league is pretty much on a bye week from front to back of the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And I like it. As a fan, it sucks.
Sucks for fantasy players.
You know what? I actually looked at it this week, and I was like, good. I got like 5 nights I don't have to do crap on my fantasy.
Yeah.
We all need this time as much as it's going to suck on Saturday night when I want to turn Hockey Night in Canada on. I got to turn on a 3-on-3 rinky-dink All-Star game.
I'm not watching it. I am sticking to my words. I ain't watching it.
I don't know. Maybe it is good. Maybe it is good. I know a lot of my friends that are big hockey guys. They take that weekend and they go to a movie and they get away from the sport for a little bit. And
maybe
you know
we can go get some dinner.
Probably good for all of us actually to get a little break because you know what? When it comes back, it is game on. It's race to we're 5 weeks out from trade deadline, and then it's the push to the playoffs, and then once that hits, then it's first round. Can you get any more exciting than that? And so I don't know. I like it this year better than last year, but I still don't like it. Exciting news next week. It's our episode 50. We're going to have some different things. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little different show. We'll be coming off All-Star break, so we won't have anything to talk about. So we'll be putting together a pretty fun and exciting episode 50 to kind of celebrate 50 episodes. Sure. That's pretty good. All right, today's show. Let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get today's show started. First topic today we're going to talk about is the Western Conference race. What team's going to drop out first, and who we think is going to be in it come playoff day. Then we're going to roll into the Edmonton Oilers and talk a little bit about the patience level of Connor McDavid and where that's at. How long is he going to deal with this, and when does he step up and become a little bit more vocal? And maybe is that right that he does, or is that wrong that he does?
Well, he's the captain.
And then we're going to roll around the league, and we'll talk Koskinen resigning, Duchene contract, Karlsson's worth, Rask injury, and some crazy things that happened over the weekend in the National Hockey League. A big thanks goes out to our sponsor, coolhockey.com. Check out their website at coolhockey.com. When you get your jersey picked out, and we're going to talk Jersey of the Week next, at the checkout, type in Inside 20, get 20% off that jersey. Who's your Jersey of the Week this week, Blake?
I'm going with a goalie who's red hot right now. I'm going with Robin Lehner.
He's been good, hasn't he?
I think he should be put in the Vezina.
On a red hot team, too.
Yeah, on a red hot team, yeah. Yeah, he's my Jersey of the Week.
So get yourself an Islanders jersey. I see you have your Elias Pettersson jersey straight from coolhockey.com.
That's right.
Sweet jersey. I like their white ones better than their blue ones, and I don't like that logo, but still a sweet jersey. My Jersey of the Week, Marc-Andre Fleury, Golden Knights. I'm going the goalie, too. We did not talk before the show and plan this, but another goalie that's winning some games for his team.
He's just like a horse, right? You know, he's I think they've won 30-something games, and he's got like 28 wins.
He looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
He's just on his game, and he's leading that Golden Knights team that really got off to a really slow start, pushing them right up into that heart of that Pacific Division playoff race. Thanks again to our sponsor, coolhockey.com.
Coolhockey.com, the coolest website on the planet.
Blake, let's talk Western Conference playoff race and which team's going to fall out of this race first. Let's give a rundown of the race as it stands here and let the listeners know that. Let's talk Central Division. 3 teams that are in the playoffs right now as we speak. Winnipeg sits in first at 64, Nashville in second at 60, Colorado 8 behind at 52. Calgary leads the Pacific Division at 69 points. San Jose at 63. Vegas at 62.
Deary backhands it out. Just Smith out to play it away from the oncoming Karlsson. Marchessault picks it up, walks in, shot, and scores! The Smith played that puck up the boards, but Marchessault took it right back, and he gives Vegas the lead.
Teams in that wild card spot right now are Dallas at 52 points and Vancouver at 52 points. Minnesota, Anaheim just one back at 51. And then Edmonton, another 2 back at 49, and St. Louis at 47. Arizona at 46. I would say that Chicago and LA are done dancing and out of it. Yep. And I would almost say that in Arizona, but I still put them in the conversation. Colorado, I mean, they're in a divisional playoff spot. But
I'm on the fence with them.
I don't know. I mean, they're sitting there. They're tied, actually, with the wild cards. So, so they're right in that race, too. But it's been an interesting race.
Not a race that I would have expected at all.
I don't. We talk a lot of Western Conference on this show, and it's not because we're being biased. We
kind of are Western Conference biased because we don't really watch much the East.
But we live in the Central Time Zone.
Yeah.
So we watch a lot more Western Conference than we do Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that's a good thing that we talk a little bit more Western Conference because 98% of the podcasts talk more East than West. So maybe that's a good thing, Blake.
Yeah.
But I love this Western Conference playoff race, and believe me, if the Eastern Conference was half as good as this, we would be talking
the Eastern
about
Conference
that.
is set.
So let's talk. I think Calgary, San Jose, and Vegas are going to be 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be in that order, but I think those three teams are going to hold those spots.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the Central Division, I think Winnipeg and Nashville, and I don't know which order that's going to go yet.
I think Winnipeg's going to take
Probably Winnipeg, Nashville struggled a little bit. But that being said, I think those two are solidified in the top two.
Yep.
So where we're talking is who's going to get those final 2 wildcard spot and then the 1 spot in the Central Division.
Sure.
I think Colorado is going to hold on to that 3rd spot. And the reason I say that is
their goaltending scares me.
I know, but they got Nathan McKinnon. And you know what? You don't have to be that good. Look at who you're competing against here. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, but all it takes is a team like Minnesota to get hot and Colorado doesn't make the playoffs.
I know, but is Minnesota going to do that? They've won 2 of their last 5.
I think they're going to make a splash.
Make a splash with what? Every time they make a splash at deadline, they suck worse.
Well, not like a Hansel for a first splash, but what did you think of the Niederreiter trade?
I don't even know. I thought it sucked if you're a Minnesota fan.
I mean, the Niederreiter's getting 5.5. Rask is getting 4. They're 2 similar players, Fresh start for Rask, maybe. He had a good rookie year with the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think Carolina wins that trade.
Depends. More potential on
Niederreiter.
Niederreiter's got more potential.
I mean, obviously, anytime there's a trade, it depends.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My gut tells me that Carolina won that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll through the teams. Arizona, they have any chance of getting into this?
I don't think so. No.
They've won 3 of their last group. 5.
That Smoltz injury was tough for them.
I don't know.
That hurt them.
They're 9, 12, and 3 at home, and that's not. Usually, you have to be decent at home,
and 500 on the road.
They're 2 games over 500.
I mean, but if you have a good home record and you're 500 or a little bit over 500 on the road, you should be a successful hockey team.
You know what they have going for them?
Goaltending.
They've played 3 less games than a lot of teams.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yep.
St. Louis is also in that boat, and they sit at 47 points. And that's a team that's won 3 of their last 5.
Okay, if you want to make the playoffs, you can't lose to the LA Kings. And they did that today. You want to make a playoff push, you have to beat those teams.
I know.
You have to beat Chicago's.
But you know what?
You have to beat the Arizonas.
Let's look at this race, though. This race isn't a race of who's going to step up. This is who sucks less.
Well,
none of these teams.
But these teams, the common denominator for all these teams is all of these teams beat up on each other. Well, because look at it. Dallas, Minnesota, and St. Louis are all in the Central. They're going to play each other lots. So they're going to beat up on each other. Vancouver's going to play Edmonton. There's a lot of 3-point
games there to be.
Vancouver's going to play Anaheim. Vancouver's going to play Arizona. They're going to beat up on each other.
No, I know. I know what you're saying.
And by the time that happens, it'll already have itself figured out.
But look at this, though. Okay, I'm just going to look at this. These are the teams we're talking about in this playoff battle. This is the last 10 games. Dallas is 4-5-1. That sucks. Colorado is 3-6-1. That sucks. Vancouver stepped up. They're 5-3-2. Minnesota's 6-4. Anaheim's 2-5-3. Edmonton's 5-5. And Arizona's 5-3-2. St. Louis is 5-4-1. None of that is good.
Yeah,
Vancouver's the best, and that's not even that great.
They're 3-0-2 in their last 5. They got points their last 6, so they're heading in the right direction.
No, and I agree. I think Minnesota and Vancouver are headed in the right direction. I think Edmonton's done. I think Arizona's just probably too far back. St. Louis, my gut tells me that they're going to make a push.
They have a good enough team, but like I said, you have to win those games.
No, I know.
You can't lose to. You can't expect to make the playoffs and lose to LA.
You at least got to get a point. I mean,
they lost in regulation. I think it's down to 5 teams. I think it's going to be Dallas, Vancouver, Minnesota, Anaheim, and St. Louis.
What about Colorado? So you got them in?
I got them in.
Okay. So for the wild card, you're saying it's between Dallas,
Vancouver, Minnesota, Anaheim, and St. Louis. I don't know who's getting that third spot. It's either going to be Dallas or Colorado. So the Dallas is either going to get third in the Central or they're going to get first or second.
As we sit right at the moment, based on this afternoon's games, Dallas is in that spot.
In the third?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that means anything.
Okay.
Minnesota's right there, too.
That's
Minnesota wins, and they're in it. I mean, that's how crazy it is. That's how tight that is.
Yeah.
If I had to make my choice there, I'd say Colorado. I still think they're going to get that third spot. I think Minnesota and Dallas are going to get the wild cards.
Yeah, I think Dallas/Colorado for a wild card in Central, and then Vancouver. I think Vancouver's going to take one of those spots.
Here's what the kicker is on Vancouver. Their goal differential is -11.
They win a lot of close games. That's all I mean. It's deflated by a couple blowouts.
Anaheim's is -29.
I know.
Holy moly.
But the thing about Vancouver is, I think they have the lightest schedule of the remaining teams. Like they've played 50 games.
Well, that's a bad thing though, actually, because you got. I mean,
you got to sit and wait for teams to play games, but
and they're going to earn points in those games.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota's got 2 games. They're 1 point back of them with 2 games.
And in March, Vancouver plays 13 games and 10 of them are at home.
That helps.
They have a great home schedule coming up.
And they're 12-9-3 at home. So, I mean, that bodes their way.
Mm-hmm.
So we only really disagree on one spot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a good race. It's been a good race. And I think it'll continue. And that's a fun and exciting thing to watch. And after we get done with this crazy All-Star break and this long delays, we're going to get to enjoy that race. Moving on to some bad news, some troubling times in oil country, and I don't even know where to start with this.
You want to start with the brutal contract they just gave out today?
No, I don't.
Or the 2 players they put on waivers today? How does this guy have a job? I am puzzled. I could run the Edmonton Oilers better than Peter Cirelli. Seriously. Are you kidding me?
It doesn't look like he's. I don't know.
I think he's just trying to screw him over and leave and get fired.
He's gonna get fired.
Like, okay, yeah, I'll give him Koskinen $4.5 million, and then I'm gonna get fired anyway. I'll get stuck with the contract.
Okay, so let's talk about Connor McDavid.
Sure.
Do we both agree he's
fire away? He's pissed.
Probably the best player in the National
He's
Hockey
the best
League?
player in the world.
Okay.
And he's playing for the shittiest team in the NHL.
Well,
sorry, Oiler fans, but I gotta be harsh.
No,
it's brutal.
It's the truth.
It's brutal.
But here's what's really brutal. He's got $12.5 million a year, which he wanted.
You have to. Yeah, you give him an open checkbook.
Okay, but here's the deal. When are young players going to realize that maybe signing that big 8-year deal isn't the smartest thing?
I don't think they ever will.
Because he's there. He's there.
Is that a movable contract?
He has a no-move clause that comes into effect in 2022-23. I'm telling you right now, though, Edmonton trades Connor McDavid, there will be riots in the street.
Oh, 100% there will be. That's with any player. If Calgary trades Gaudreau, that's with every team.
Oh, Gaudreau would be less of a factor than Connor McDavid. But here's my question. When is Connor McDavid... Connor looks pissed.
You see him in his post-game interviews, he looks miserable.
To McDavid. McDavid tried a little move there. He got his stick up. Hamonic reacted, and the Flames send it down the ice.
Boy, some real battles in that zone for loose pucks. Edmonton was able to regain possession of that puck, but an excellent battle afterwards. Really aggressive on McDavid on the half wall on the left-hand side. He eventually turns the puck over again. He's the one he's cut on that play. That was a pretty heavy hit by Hathaway as he went after him in that side of the ice. And
so at what point... I'm not saying he walks into the office, knocks on the door, and says, "Hey, trade me right now."
I would. Flat out, I would do. I would.
But
why would you want to play in a toxic environment like that?
You made the contract. He didn't have to sign there.
He's an RFA.
He didn't have to sign.
What RFAs do you know besides stupid Nylander that don't sign contracts?
Well, I'm just saying, like, he didn't have to. He could have signed for 1 year.
2 years ago.
But he could have signed for 1 year.
2 years ago, the Edmonton Oilers went to the second round Game 7 against
and then the next
Anaheim
year,
Ducks.
you picked him to win the Stanley Cup.
I did.
Which was the worst prediction you've ever made.
Because I thought they would have taken the next step. I mean,
What's that step?
Lots of people did.
Yeah, but okay.
They had the exact same team the year after. Why were they so bad? Why did they go out and trade Eberle for Strome? Why did they trade Strome for Spooner and then put Spooner on waivers right now? They literally traded Eberle for nothing.
Oh, I'm
they
not
gave him
arguing
away.
that.
And now look at he's on the first place Islanders. They're going to the playoffs. Edmonton's sitting in pity right now. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, what Peter Cirelli is doing reminds me of Mike Gillis with Vancouver.
I'm not defending. This is even worse than that.
It's pretty close.
I'm not defending Cirelli, but a lot of this garbage started before him even. Look at all the draft picks that they've squandered.
I get that, but
look at
how can you trade a first round pick for Griffin Reinhart?
They have went through since Connor McDavid suited up with him.
Yeah,
they've went through 4 coaches.
I know.
Look at the players that he's stuck playing with.
He's playing with Zach Castian and Jujhar Khaira. That alone would make me want out at Edmonton.
Right now, I think he's paired as of today.
Oh, with Draisaitl. Less depth down the road.
Draisaitl, and which I think Draisaitl's a great player, and Alex Chiasson, who is a cast-off in Calgary and Ottawa.
Yeah, he's got 17 goals this year. Pretty easy to play with McDavid.
I just wonder. My question is, like, obviously there's frustration. Connor McDavid came out today saying that if...
Did you see what he said?
Yeah, if nobody in the team... If
you don't believe in this group, leave. Yeah. I think that's a bullshit lie.
Well, I think...
What are you supposed to say?
I know. Well, he's in a tough spot.
I hate media members that put athletes in that spot. What are you going to say? Oh, yeah, Ratty and Spooner were shit for this team. You're not going to go out and say that. So why even ask him what his thoughts are on putting on waivers? That's not up to him. That's a question for Peter Cirelli to answer.
I'm with you.
I hate players that are forced into that position. That's not fair to the players. Because they don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, they do.
Well, they do.
A little bit, but
not much.
No.
Peter Cirelli didn't go up to McDavid. Hey, can I put Ratty on waivers?
He maybe should.
I don't know. I think there's stuff going on behind the scenes.
Here's the real question, though. The window of success is not that long for a player. The average career...
Hold up. For who? A player like McDavid?
No, just listen. Stuff happens. The average career is 5 years. Now, McDavid's an elite player. He's going to play for as long as he physically can.
Average to what?
The NHL average career is 5 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But Connor McDavid is not your average player. So Connor McDavid's going to get to play as long as he physically can.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get older, you don't get better. Unless you're Mark Giordano.
Oh,
I'm serious.
A player like McDavid is going to be putting up numbers at mid-30s.
I'm not saying he won't, but you can ask anybody that he's not going to be putting up the same numbers at 32 as he is 27.
He's going to lose speed, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, to get the most of him, you want to do it in his prime, just like Gretzky. Like, let's be serious here. You've said it all year. This is a young man's game. So the older he gets playing on crappy Oilers teams,
they're wasting his prime.
The success, the odds of the Oilers being successful goes down. Mm-hmm. It actually goes down.
Yeah.
So they've dicked off for 3 years now, or 5 years now.
Or 10 years since 06.
And I'm
back when they had Pronger.
No, but I'm saying since McDavid got there.
Okay.
So I mean, at what point does McDavid have? What is he going to do? I don't like players going into management.
What can he do?
That's the thing. That's the problem. He's done everything he can on the ice. But I'm totally against players stepping in on management decisions. But this is one that when management decisions are this bad, that he maybe doesn't knock on the owner's door and say, listen.
Don't make a trade unless you talk to me.
No. We got an agreement here. But I can get out of this
just as quick
by saying I want to trade right now. And then I'm going to tie your hands and throw you overboard because you'll have to trade me.
Yep.
Because when the greatest player in the world says, I want to trade right now,
you're trading him.
You're trading him.
And you won't get value for him.
And you aren't going to, well...
You'll get value, but you won't get... You won't get no, like...
Well, you know what you got with McDavid. You don't know what you got with anybody else. You can get all the number one picks in the world. You don't know that they're going to pan out.
But I hate people that say they won't trade McDavid. Dude, Gretzky was traded. Anybody can be traded.
I know, but at what point does McDavid say, I can't do this anymore?
Enough. I would be, like I said last week.
I can't play one more shift with Zach Kassian on a line because he's a knucklehead.
I'm with you, man. You know, I think the Oilers are the most interesting team to watch at the deadline. Just because the unpredictability of Cirelli.
You don't. Oh my God.
This guy.
You can't imagine.
This guy is gonna. This guy is gonna trade. This guy is gonna trade Puljujärvi or Yamamoto or a first round pick. Bank on it.
Oh yeah.
They're that desperate.
Can you imagine what the players like? I think in any locker room that's a stressful time of year waiting for that trade deadline. Can you imagine what it's like in Edmonton where they're all sitting there going, well, who's out of here and who the hell are we going to get?
Do you think Peter Cirelli has to live in a secret hotel so they don't, like, kill him?
I heard today, this is funny, I heard today that, what general manager was it? Arizona.
Shaika? Oh, on 31 Thoughts?
No, it wasn't on 31 Thoughts. It was just on the NHL radio. He was talking about, he was asked about, like, differences between, like, Toronto and Arizona, and, you know, Kyle Dubas can't go to the grocery store, and John Shaika said, I can do anything in Phoenix, and nobody knows who I am.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Said,
absolutely anything. I can do whatever, and nobody knows who I am.
Oh, for sure. You know,
they think he's...
Peter Cirelli goes to the grocery store, he's getting his ass beat.
He's going to get yelled at, for sure.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
You know, I had visited with a couple of different NHL players, and one of them played in Carolina, and he said that he was out mowing his yard, and his neighbor came over and introduced himself, and he
didn't know who he was.
And then he said he played in a market in Canada where he said if you had a bad game, your house got egged the next morning. So, I mean, it's just...
it's like that in Saskatchewan at the Rough Riders, too. I mean, I remember in 2005, Paul McCallum missed a 15-yard field goal to send him to the Grey Cup, and he missed. And they had 4 security guards at his house. Like, they were ready to kill him. Like, seriously, they're that passionate. Like, Canadian markets, any sport, are that passionate.
And I think they are in America, too, just in different sports.
Well, football, for sure.
Great football yesterday, huh?
It was good. Really good football, you know.
Didn't really like the outcome of the New England game because everybody in the States,
I hate
except
New
for
England.
the Boston area, likes...
I hate New England. But, you know,
he's good.
Tom Brady's a GOAT.
But you know what? There is more Los Angeles Rams fans this week now than ever before. I would say the percentage
the whole U.S. is cheering for him except Boston.
I know.
Seriously.
I know.
Everybody is cheering for L.A., including myself.
Me too.
Let's go.
So, let's talk a little bit about different things from around the league. Sure. And the first one I want to talk about is Matt Duchene.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Duchene, supposedly his agents met with Ottawa brass this week, and Ottawa offered him, Elliot Friedman reported, a $64 million 8-year contract, which is $8 million per year. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty darn good deal.
Yeah, it's reasonable, but if I was Edmonton, if I was Ottawa, I wouldn't do it.
If you were Ottawa, well, they offered it already.
I know.
Would you do it if you were Duchene?
I know they offered it. Is Duchene going to get more than $8 million in an open market?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I think that's a right on. What do you do?
I think it's bang on, but I don't think it's smart for Ottawa to do that.
I don't think it's smart. I hate 8-year contracts. I hate 5. Anything over 5 drives me silly.
5 or 6, yeah.
Name me one player that after year 5 they were like, boy, I'm sure glad we have him still.
Yeah, no.
There is hardly any.
No.
Hardly anything.
Ask Edmonton how it's going out.
Hardly anything looks good after 5.
Yeah, but I just think the Senators, they don't have a first-round pick this year. That's devastating.
We're not talking about that.
But I'm saying they need to get assets back for their rebuild.
Yeah.
They need to get assets back.
So, do you think they're going to offer Stone more?
I don't think Stone's going to stay at all.
You don't
I don't
so?
think he's going to get an offer.
Why? Everybody's got Stone going to Vegas, and I don't doubt that doesn't happen.
I mean, it could.
There's the old Brandon Wheat Kings tie there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that could happen.
They got lots of money too.
They do, and they got young draft picks to give up too.
Yep. Yeah, but it's already a disaster in Ottawa.
They have to get one of those two though to sign.
They're not.
Yeah, they will.
I don't think so.
Well, if not, they're going to trade them both. They have to. If they don't have those two signed in the next 2 weeks,
Stone's getting traded for sure. I think they lose.
Well, they'll have to trade both of them.
They might.
They can't afford to lose.
They don't have a chance at Stone. They don't have a chance to sign him.
They can't lose Duchene. They can't lose Duchene for nothing. So if he's not re-signing, that's why they're doing the contract now.
Yeah.
If he isn't re-signing, he's getting traded by deadline.
Yeah. But what are you going to get for him?
You got to get something.
You're going to get a first-round pick back?
No.
Second prospect, maybe?
Yes, you'll get a second for sure. Mm-hmm. You might even get a first. You might be surprised.
A team...
You might be surprised.
As a rental. I doubt it. Can't see it.
You might... No, but you might... He might not just be a rental.
They'll get a first if it's a sign and trade. It's the only way they get a first round pick.
Erik Karlsson.
He's going to get monster money.
You think so?
Yep. He's going to get more than Doughty. He's going to get upwards of $11.5 to $12 million a year. Look how he's been playing right now. The guy's been unbelievable.
Do you think he stays in San Jose?
I don't think so.
See, I don't either. And
you know where I think he's going to go?
Everybody I've talked to says...
You know where he's going to go?
Where?
He's going to the Vegas Golden Knights. I just see him in a Vegas Golden Knights uniform next year.
You think he's going to get... I mean, I think...
And it's tax-free.
Will he get more than Brett Burns at 8?
At 8? I just told you he's getting 11.5 to 12.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he is. He's a better defenseman than Drew Doughty.
I'm not a Drew Doughty fan.
Neither am I, but you can't knock his play.
I can tell you some things wrong with it. I'm just not a huge fan. He's overpaid.
He's a franchise D-man, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's top end, but he's...
He's a nutcase.
Oh.
Yeah,
Brett Burns gets 8 in San Jose, and I don't know.
Is that this year kicks in?
Yeah, through 24-25, he's getting $8 million.
You know, that Vlasic contract... Vlasic's having a tough year this year because of the
injured.
Because of the downplay minutes, and he's been injured. You know, Karlsson came in and he kind of took a reduced role.
His $7 million is fine in my mind.
No, not for the next 8 years.
It's the term. It's the term that's going to be.
7 is fine.
Term's killer on that.
The 7 more years after that.
Well, they got 6 more years after this of Martin Jones too. 5.75.
They signed him to a 7-year deal.
Man, I just don't know why teams do that. Then they got Couture and Kane at $7 and $8 million for the next
6 years, 6 or 7.
7 years. Holy cats!
Yeah, they got some bad contracts.
I don't know how they afford to give Karlsson more than 8.
Well, Thornton's gonna be off the books.
Yeah, I know, but you have to have money left over to fill those roster spots. So here's the kicker. What's Pavelski gonna get? He's at 6 now. He's UFA.
He's got more than that.
But he's going to be 34. If he agrees to 3 years, San Jose will get him. But if he wants 5 years, they can't. They can't do it.
No,
they can't.
3 years more term or 3 years more AAV. That's what it'll be.
Okay, but let's say this. Okay, so if he gets 7, let's say. If he gets 7, and you jump Karlsson up to 10.
Minus Thornton's contract, though.
Okay, that's $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still screwed. You're capped out.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot.
You're capped out, and you still need to fill a roster spot. I don't know how they're going to work this. And you got to pivot. I don't know. I don't know how you're going to do this.
Yeah, they're going to be in tough.
And Donskoy is a UFA too.
He won't get paid that much.
But he's got to make
the rise of Timo Meier, though, that's good for them.
Yeah,
he's still on a rookie contract.
He's a restricted next year.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They might be screwed.
They're in tough.
One of my good buddies is a Sharks fan too.
They're in tough. Okay, Rask injury. Tuukka Rask got hit hard by is it Shadell or how do you say that?
I don't even know.
Shuttle,
Chittel, or
I don't know.
Wasn't a dirty play.
I didn't think it was dirty either.
You know, McAvoy kind of directed him
hit him into him.
Yeah.
Boy, he got hit hard though.
And
his rear end.
Did you hear the Bruins announcers?
Oh, the Bruins announcers are the worst.
I don't even think McAvoy touched him. Oh, you blind? Are you serious?
Boston's announcers
are the worst announcers.
Are the most homered announcers going?
Yeah.
And you know what? This is why almost all sports fans hate the Boston Bruins, hate the Boston Red Sox, and hate the New England Patriots.
They're all biased.
Because that is the most arrogant, one-sided, biased hockey fan base or sports fan base in the world. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And their announcers,
Red Sox.
It's so bad when you listen to them. Marchand can...
I like that he's passionate.
I want that.
But it gets to a point where it's like, hey,
you got to shut your mouth.
You need to chill out.
You got to shut your mouth.
Yeah.
You got to speak the truth still. You can be passionate, but you have to be truthful.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Halak has struggled as of late, but Halak was really good at the beginning of the year.
He kept him in the race.
I think Boston will be just fine.
Yeah.
I think they do. So, a couple of weird... Let's talk one more thing, and then we're going to talk about some weird situations in the league. Sure. Koskinen resigns at Edmonton. We touched on this a little bit. 3 years, $4.5 million. Your thoughts on that?
I don't like it at all. The guy's been good for half of a year, and this is his first year back in the NHL. He hasn't proven anything to even get anything remotely close to $4.5 million.
You know, I like Koskinen, and I like what I've seen, but
that's a small sample size.
Listen to me. I am the first person to say, though, that you can't, at this point, especially the timing is the worst timing I've ever seen in all of sports history. Your team is in disarray. You have problems all over the place. And then you throw out a contract on a Monday afternoon to a goalie that has no track record at all for $4.5, or is it 5 or 4.3? $5 million. What in the God's name are you thinking when you're eating your donuts and drinking your coffee in the morning? Holy crap. What did he think? Wake up today and be like, I think I'm really going to piss him off today. Like, the timing is atrocious. He has got a 2.78 goals against average, which isn't horrible. .911 save percentage. I don't think that's that bad. He's not been a bad goalie this year. The Oilers' crappiness is not on him. But don't give him $4.5 million for 3 years right now.
You know what I think?
Good grief.
I think it opens the door for Talbot to get traded. Talbot's getting 4.1. How many years does he have left? I think he has 2 years. I want to say he has 2 years left.
I'll look. I don't know. Do you think the timing is as bad?
It is bad. It's really bad.
He's a UFA.
Yeah. He's getting traded. Somebody will take him. They'll eat half his salary, though.
Who will take him? I know. Somebody will take him. Philadelphia, maybe?
There'll be a team.
Calgary? Philadelphia?
Calgary would take him at $2 million. Sure they would. Absolutely.
Couldn't afford him, I don't think.
For $2 million?
No, because Smith's numbers don't come off the books. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they do. Next year?
Yeah, next year, but okay. I'm talking for the stretch.
Bury him in the minors. Do it.
I don't know. I think Smith's a fine backup. I think he's good down the stretch. That's fine. I think that problem's solved in Calgary. Rittich has stepped up, and he's the number one, and I think that problem's solved. Okay, let's talk some goofy stuff that happened this weekend in the National Hockey League.
Sure.
Barbasheva of the Blues breaks his skate blade. We watched the highlight of this on Saturday night when we were sitting at a junior hockey game. The official, he's crawling to the bench. The official pushes him to the bench.
It happened yesterday, too. In the Arizona.
Did it again?
Arizona-Toronto game.
Okay. Is that... And we joked about this
I've never
Saturday
seen
night.
it until the last 2 days.
We went to a junior game on Saturday night where we see this highlight, and we're both looking at each other. I'm like, isn't that the same as, like, if you break a stick and the official goes to the bench and gets you a new one?
No,
I mean, you can't...
It's not like that.
Well, you can't help a player out. You pushed him back to the bench. What are you doing? You can't help a player out like that.
You want him to blow it dead?
No, just let him struggle to the bench.
They always blow it dead, though.
No, they don't.
They do.
Oh, bull crap.
If a goalie loses his skate blade...
Okay, so let me ask you this
The
question.
goalie lost the skate blade on Saturday.
Different. Goalie's different.
How?
Any piece of equipment on a goalie falls off or anything, it's dead whistle.
Skate blade?
It's different. Listen
Why
to
is it
this.
any different?
I don't know. It shouldn't be, but it is. But listen to this. Okay, so let me ask you this question. Guy gets KO'd in the corner, and he's freaking up doing the old wobbly legs. The referee doesn't go over there and help him to the bench.
No, he blows it dead.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
I've seen guys struggle.
Doesn't happen very often. Doesn't happen very often.
It happens, though.
Yeah.
But I just don't think pushing a player to the bench is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Second thing that was funny this weekend, Marc-Andre Fleury
Sorry, dude.
piles up snow in front of the crease.
Yeah.
And when they pulled their goalie, and the officials must have got a call from Toronto because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They went over and were looking at the goal line, and they were like, I don't see nothing. They kicked some snow in the goal line, but the mound was out at the top of the crease.
Yeah.
And they went over and told him in the bench, and he was covering his face with his glove, and he was laughing and joking, and I thought it was funny as heck. I did later find out it is a penalty.
Yeah.
But
it's like going to the empty net and leaving your stick in front of the crease.
yeah, but I think it was Roger Nielsen used to tell his goalies to drop their stick on the blue line when or in the crease when they would leave their net.
I've saw it happen before.
That's a penalty now.
Yeah.
Can't do that. But here's another thing this brought me back to the days when the shootout first started. And I remember Chris Osgood used to grab all of his snow. Like he'd pick up all the snow and he wouldn't put it in his crease, but he'd go push it out into the slot so that when the player was coming in to stick handle, he'd hit the snow and lose control of the puck. And I thought, that's genius, Yeah. They caught on to that quick, and they didn't let him do that very long. But one last thing that I thought was, I don't know, kind of bad. Did you see last night in the Edmonton game where Zach Kassian checked Martinook over the boards, and the Hurricanes player was in the Edmonton bench, and Kassian stood over the top of him in the bench and just punched and whacked at him while he was in the bench? Even Goonhead Lucic looked over like, holy shit, what's going on? Mm-hmm. And nothing was called. I was just like, how does this not get called?
Yeah. I don't know.
And I know that's just Kassian being Kassian because that's just the way he is. But I don't know. That one surprised me, and I thought maybe there should have been a call on that or something. Or maybe we should have went old school and a Hurricanes player should have come flying in over there and beat the crap out of Kassian. But we don't see that anymore in hockey, do we, Blake?
NHL sucks.
You're a hockey fan and you love your team and its players. At CoolHockey.com, they get that. That's why they offer high-quality NHL jerseys at competitive prices. They've been in business since 1999, customizing jerseys to NHL specs and to give you the quality work you will not find anywhere else. Cool Hockey is the #1 place to get NHL jerseys with shipping available to any country in the world. Head to CoolHockey.com now and use promo code INSIDE20 for 20% off your next jersey purchase. It's time for 3 questions. It is time for another edition of 3 questions. Tonight, Blake takes the center stage and asks me 3 questions. We'll rotate that again next show. No, we won't. Next show is episode 50. We're not doing 3 questions. So when we get back to episode 51, it'll be my turn to ask Blake questions. But, all right, Blake, give them to me good. Start off number 1.
Question number 1. NHL players are upset about the World Cup of Hockey, correct? And
are they?
In September, especially the young guys. What's your thoughts on, the kids that grew up wanting to play in the Olympics and play in the World Cup?
You could. You can do that.
What do you mean?
If you want to grow up and play in the Olympics, you can just not play in the NHL.
No, I'm saying they want to. Of course, they want to play in the NHL, but
well, you can't.
It was a mandatory thing up until 2014.
What was mandatory?
The Olympics. It was every year.
Mandatory.
Well, it wasn't mandatory, but it was every 4 year thing.
Yeah, but then the IIHF decided that they were going to be greedy bastards and they aren't going to give any money to the National Hockey League.
But do you feel bad for the young players?
No. They're playing their dream. Don't they want to play in the NHL?
Yeah.
I don't feel bad at all.
Question.
Did I ruin your question, Blake?
No, it's all good.
No, I just don't. I really don't. And I'm not trying to be heartless about this at all. But, the fact of the matter is...
How good would Team North America be this year?
They wouldn't have done that anyways. They already said they weren't going to do that.
Why?
They said that they were going to do more of an Olympic format. And have Canada and U.S. and Czechs.
If there was... If there was a Team North America, okay, and you're Connor McDavid at 22 years old, he wants to play Team Canada. Can't. He's got to play for Team North America. Yeah. I like that because it opens the door for vets to make Team Canada. Right?
I think Team Canada would have got beat, and I think Team USA would have got beat by the North Americans because look at that roster that they have. That young
they would
team.
have been good. Matthews, Marner.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they've been good. Question number 2.
Okay.
Should Robin Lehner be in the Vezina discussion? And a 2-part question, where did this come from?
Well, I think it's I think he should be in the conversation. I think what happens a lot of times with the awards, I love the awards, by the way, and I hope we get to go to the award show this year, but I think a lot of it's political. I think certain markets get forgotten. I think certain players get forgotten. Robin Lehner's had his struggles, and they've been well documented. And I think that that'll get held against him. Not his substance abuse problems, but his problems playing on struggling teams. A lot of goaltending, and I see this more in goaltending than any other position, is once you establish yourself and you have a couple really good years, people think you're good for the next 5 years, when sometimes you're not that good. And you see it really with the Norris Trophy a lot, where they just look and say, oh, well, here's the top 3 scoring defensemen. That's who's up for the Norris. Which to me, that's completely BS. Because what I want in a defenseman is, a guy that can put the puck in the net. But more importantly, isn't defense about keeping the puck out of the net? And I think the Norris Trophy should be more of a complete defenseman. Whereas I think the Vezina... is sometimes a popularity contest in my mind. He's playing at the level this year where absolutely he should be in consideration. I don't know how you wouldn't put him in consideration. And I'm really happy with what's happened there. He's gotten his life straight. I think it's changed his perspective. I think it's changed his attitude. It's crazy how your mind clears when you get that off your chest. And when you get that out, he's fighting the battle every day, and he will be for the rest of his life. It's amazing what you can do with that support and a clear mind, and I think Robin Lehner has proved that this year. He's been great, and I wish him the best down the stretch. I love watching this Islanders team go.
Yeah, you got him in the playoffs.
I predicted this, so it's even more fun on my end.
Question number 3. The NHL is developing an app on the iPads for coaches on the bench to give them live stats during the game. Is this useful or stupid?
Oh, aren't we going that direction?
Well, I know, but live stats during a game. Shouldn't a coach be coaching, not looking at his iPad?
No. Oh, it'll fit in perfectly with the rest of society. Nobody even talks to anybody anymore. They just look at their phones all the time. It'll be perfect, Blake. It'll be perfect.
I guess.
Now coaches won't even see what the hell's going on because they'll be... You know what the coaches will use it for? You want to know the truth of this?
What?
They'll look at it to look at time on ice and go, oh, shit, I got to get him out there. He's going to be complaining. His agent's going to be complaining if he doesn't get... Oh,
my God.
They check it. I'll bet you $100 that 80% of the coaches check ice time after every period. Believe me, they do.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. I know. I believe they do. I believe they do. I'll be shocked if I'm wrong on that.
Listener question?
Time for the listener question. Got a good one this week from a listener out of Victoria, British Columbia, Hunter Ramsey. Please, we love these questions. Send them in to us. Tweet us at Inside Edge Hockey. Tweet Blake at Blake Friars. Tweet me at Brad Burud. Get us your questions. If we choose yours, we'll get it answered on the air. And we have some great prizes for listeners whose questions get selected. But Hunter Ramsey from Victoria, British Columbia has got a great question. And his question is, not enough props are being given to Markstrom in Vancouver and the way he's playing. Jacob Markstrom's numbers since December 6th rank him 6th amongst the NHL goaltenders. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He is 11-3-2 with a .927 save percentage with a 2.11 goals against average. If he can keep this up, do the Canucks have a real shot at making a serious playoff push?
Yes.
Well, I think they have a serious shot.
They do. And Markstrom has been a rock for the Canucks this year. I've been absolutely shocked at what he's been able to do. You know, he was taken high. He was a high second round pick for Florida back in the day, and you know he was one of the highly touted prospects. Like he was going to be the next big thing, they were saying, and he gets traded for Luongo. You know he didn't really figure it out too much until this year. Rolly Melanson is the goaltending coach for Vancouver this year. He was the goaltending coach when Roberto Luongo first came to Vancouver in 2006. He was the goaltending coach in Columbus when Sergei Bobrovsky won the Vezina Trophy, and they brought him back this year. And I just see incredible improvements from Markstrom's game this year and from last year to this year. He's just more calm. He's 6'6". He's using his body. You know, he's making himself big in that. And the reason why I think he doesn't get enough props is because another Swedish kid is in the locker room, Elias Pettersson. That's all they talk about in Vancouver right now, right? I mean, post-game, if Pettersson scores a hat-trick and Markstrom has 45 saves, what are they going to talk about? They're going to talk about Elias Pettersson's 3 goals before they talk about Markstrom's 45 saves, which I don't know what's right.
Which might be a good thing.
Yeah, it could be, but you know, I just think Rolly Melanson's done a great job in Vancouver and with both goaltenders. So,
I mean, I agree. I think Markstrom's been really good this year.
But the impact on Pettersson.
But where do we go from here for the Canucks? I mean, they're, in my mind, 2 years ahead of where we expected them to be.
Maybe even 3.
Yeah, you could probably say that. Odds are, based off their recent play, that they're going to be in this hunt. Probably not going to get a high draft pick, which sucks, but I guess they'll probably take a playoff run in Vancouver over that.
Yep.
You know, what's this team lacking? And is this really a team that can seriously make a push to make a playoff spot?
I don't think they'll add. I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think they will either.
What are they missing?
Yeah, what do they need to do to solidify this
Nothing.
core?
Wait.
So you just think just wait and hope, pray you get in?
Look at the pieces that are coming out.
I'm all about not doing things in the deadline. I want you to know that.
Because think about it.
Because most deadline things don't
Think
pan
about
out.
it. The Canucks were expected to be a bottom 5 team.
Mm-hmm.
They were expected to get a top 5 pick this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're midway through January, and we are in a wild card spot.
Here's one thing that scares me, though.
They're lacking depth.
Yep, but here's one thing. I'm just going to read off a couple stats that scare me.
I think
stats don't lie.
Are they the same stats that I probably wrote down?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
I didn't look at your stats. I don't go over your notes before the show, Blake. Goals per game, they're rated 19th.
Yep.
That's scary. That's putting a lot of pressure on your goaltending. Mm-hmm. Goals against, they're actually rated 21st.
Yep.
Which, that's not good either.
Nope.
Power play percentage, you're 22nd. Now I know Pettersson was out with an injury, so
he missed 11 games.
I'll give you that. I would
drives the whole power
I would
play.
guess that improves.
Yep.
Penalty kill percentage, you're 21st there too. So their numbers are not numbers of a playoff team.
But look at games 26 to 50 though. Their record is 13-8-4. They have 30 points in that time span. Their goals for are the same. Their goals against is almost down 30. Their power play goals against is down 12. And time shorthanded is down 34. And their penalty kill went from 76% to 83%. So it just shows that when you get good goaltending and you stay disciplined, you're going to win a lot more hockey games because it's a lot easier to score goals when you're not shorthanded.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
And, the fact that Pettersson has on this hockey team is, I didn't know how one delusional this hockey team is until I looked it up.
One delusional? What's that mean?
Like
one-dimensional, you mean?
One-dimensional.
Oh, okay. Delusional is what you are when you told me that Vancouver is going to make the playoffs.
When Elias Pettersson scores, the Canucks record is 14-3-2. When he doesn't score, they're 4-14-3. That just shows that this kid is so special to this hockey team. Like I think this is a generational talent.
Oh, he is.
That comes around once every 10 years. And the NHL has been lucky to get McDavid, Matthews, Pettersson, back to back to back. That's just going to help the NHL grow. But I like the Canucks schedule. They have a light schedule. The 8 of the 32 games they have left are against Eastern Conference teams. So they got to take care of business.
That helps.
Got to take care of business. They got some tough games against Toronto, but 14.
Toronto, a team that's
lost
9-2 in their last 20. Yeah.
Anyway, 14 games against the Pacific Division. That's big.
Well, it depends on who in the Pacific.
2 of them are against Calgary, and 3 of them are against San Jose. 5 out of the 14 are against the top team.
Nothing against Vegas.
And we got 3 games against Vegas.
Ooh,
so
that's scary.
But think about it. 14. That's only 8 out of the 14 are against the top 3 in the Pacific. If you can win half of those games and take care of the LAs, Chicago's, Anaheims, Arizona's, Edmonton's, if you can take care of those, they're in the playoffs for sure. God hope Pettersson stays healthy because he's.
Well, if he gets hurt, they're done.
He's a huge part of the team, and he comes back last night. 10 minutes in, he scored a goal. He assisted on the winning goal. They found a way to. They just find a way to win, and this Canucks team is not going to outscore you. They are going to out-hit you. They're going to outwork you. It pisses me off that Travis Green doesn't get recognition for a Jack Adams.
Oh, he might. He's doing very, very well.
Look what he's got to work with right now. Vancouver, on paper, is not a good hockey team.
Well, their stats aren't even good.
No, they're not. They are gritty. They'll work you, and they just find ways. They just find ways to win.
They really need to. They need to win these key games.
Yeah, they got Carolina Wednesday. You need to win that game. And then you got Philadelphia. They got
Colorado, then Philly, then Washington. And
the
list goes on and on.
Yeah, they got a pretty easy schedule coming up. Thank you, Hunter, for the question.
Very good question.
Very good question. Yeah,
Blake, let's end this on something funny. You read me a tweet, and this is a classic tweet. We're going to finish the show on this tweet. Check back with us next week on a very, very, very special 50th episode edition. It'll be a lot of fun. Blake, we're going out with this tweet. It's a good one.
Peter Cirelli is that guy in your fantasy league that is literally throwing everything against the wall, but instead of fantasy, he's doing it with real-life human beings.
Who's the tweet from?
Sid Sixero, Tim and Sid, Sportsnet. Guy's a classic, and watch his show on Sportsnet. Sid's great.
Classic tweet. Edmonton Oilers fans, you have sympathy from the rest of the National Hockey League.
We are praying for you. We are both praying for you.
Inside Edge Hockey News, lighting the lamp and raising the cup.
Here's Taylor Hall. Who else? Nay! Kevin! He is tattooed by Bufflin.
Thanks for listening to the Debate Hockey Podcast. Check out InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com for all your hockey news. Follow us on all forms of social media, and make sure you download the Debate on your favorite podcatcher. Check us out on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeart, and YouTube. A special thanks goes out to our sponsor, CoolHockey.com. Make sure you check out their website, use promo code INSIDE20, and save 20% off your next jersey purchase. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this week's hockey action.
Saved by Anderson. Couturier, the sweet setup. Gibson robs Tierney. Save of the game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.